A few days ago, we learned about the closure of the Sammy Duvall water sports. I know that there are some in our Disney family who love the water sports and they really wish that it wasn't going away. However, it is closing, and I immediately started thinking, why is this happening? Is it because maybe a change in how Disney wants to approach these things, or maybe they're just not as popular as they used to be? At the time of filming, there is no official explanation as to why Sammy Duvall is leaving Walt Disney World. So I started to do a little bit more digging to find what they offer and what Walt Disney World offers. Before they closed, they offered parasailing, personal watercraft rentals, tubing, wakeboarding, and water skiing at Walt Disney World. When I was first looking at the list of the different activities that Sammy Duvall offered at Walt Disney World, I was bouncing some ideas off of my dad, and he mentioned to me, he said, "Michael, when was the last time you saw someone parasailing anywhere around Walt Disney World?" And I sat down for a second and I said, "Oh yeah." Now this may just be me, maybe I'm not spending enough time over by Wilderness Lodge looking at the water, perhaps I am not, I understand that. But for me personally, I have not seen anyone parasail or tube or anything like that around the Contemporary or in that general area in a very long time. I mean a long time, maybe 10 years ago. Now I do want to clarify, I am not talking about the boat rentals, those little mouse boats or the larger boats or the pontoon boats. I am not referring to those at all. I'm talking about parasailing and tubing and those kind of things. Outside of a boat, that's what I'm talking about right now. I looked around to try and find the popularity and the attendance for these different things at Walt Disney World, but I of course could not find them. That's private. And I'm wondering, maybe guests are instead choosing to do the boats or maybe save parasailing and tubing for somewhere like Castaway Cay or another island, when they're on a Disney cruise, just as an example. Or maybe it has to do with wildlife that may or may not live in those waters or in the area, and maybe there's some concern about that. There are a lot of different factors that I'm sure come to mind when considering why they might be closing. Now maybe I'm alone here and I've just missed all of the parasailing that's been happening all around Walt Disney World. If I am, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments below. Say you've seen all the parasailing happening, and in the poll right there, I'd love to hear from you. Now for those who love Sammy Duvall, it is staying open at Disney Springs. They do have a shop there that will remain open, so you can still shop. Now for those who love those water sports and will miss Sammy Duvall, no need to worry. Disney does have a lot of other water activities that you can participate in, like kayak and canoe rentals, and they do have the motorized boat rentals, which are available in different categories. I'm going to link all of that information in the description of this video. Now this closure could be related to a money issue, or maybe a partnership between the two companies, or maybe a safety issue. We don't know. There is no official announcement, but there is another thought that comes to my mind. I'm always thinking with the Imagineering type brain, trying to figure out what Disney's up to. What if it has to do with another project that Disney is working on? Perhaps Project 89. I know it sounds like a crazy idea, but bear with me. Let's say Disney's planning a brand new resort as part of Project 89. And again, we don't know for sure if that's what this is. You can find all of the details of what we do know for sure in a video I made on my channel all about Project 89. But let's say it's a brand new resort, and at this new resort, it's all themed about nature and all of these things and coming back to nature. And at this resort, they have a private amount of, some kind of water sports, something else that you can do involving water that Disney runs themselves, or they have a separate company run it for them, like Sammy Duvall. So as part of the wild and crazy ideas coming from nowhere else but my imagination, please keep that in mind, I envision Disney building an expansion or something involving a new resort with Project 89 and putting some new water sports at it. Now if the closure of Sammy Duvall is due to a safety issue, I can totally understand why they're doing this, and maybe it has nothing to do with Project 89. But if it's not due to a safety issue, perhaps, just perhaps, this might have to do with future planning at Walt Disney World. So what do you think? Do you think my imagination's just going a little bit too far this time and they're not going to do anything like that with anything related to Project 89? Or maybe you think this is just a safety issue and they had to close Sammy Duvall, or maybe a difference in leadership and what they want to do with it. Maybe Disney wants to run the water sports. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you'll miss Sammy Duvall, let us know as well. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.